we're sitting here taking a break, and one of the good things about having land and having guys that mess with the YouTube is James trying out to make a dovetail.
I mean, it's just junky rotted wood, but you know.
Well,
Can't get mad if I mess it up.
Yeah, like me, he's never done it before. I ain't never done it before, but he's watched a bunch of videos on it, and we figured while we're sitting here taking a break, we might as well try it.
I've never done it, but I've watched the Woodwright shop enough, so that's almost as good, right?
You can consider us practicing, because once we get in construction mode, once we get cleanup mode finished, we plan on doing some timber framing stuff. But since we ain't never used it, better to use all, you know, fell log than a big expensive freaking 6x6.
Yeah, I noticed this tree was actually dead standing, and it was leaning on some branches over where those bricks are, and these chairs used to be up there. And I was like, well, that's obviously a safety hazard. So I just kind of yanked it down.
I think they call him a widowmaker.
Yeah, I don't want none of that. I don't have a wife to make a widow yet. Actually, I did actually do a little bit of timber framing one time. I forgot about it at that primitive skills gathering I was telling you about. They were building something, and they're sort of an ongoing show up, get handed an auger and some chisels, and start making holes and stuff to build this timber frame.
Well, that's cool.
So I forgot about it because I only did, I don't know, one joint maybe, and this was a few years ago.
James and I were talking about bloggers, you know, cool YouTube channels, whatever. And he's like me, like the Wrangler Star. I've watched Wrangler Star's timber framing videos a whole bunch of times. I keep looking at the tools that he has, and
I wish I had his tool budget. Well, we need to start hitting the yard sales and stuff like he does. Like he'll be like, I got this axe today for $1.50 at a yard sale because no one knew what it was, and it needed a new handle and it was rusted out and whatnot. Yeah. So get our hands on some old world chisels and hand tools.
Well, that ain't bad looking notch for rotted old wood.
Yeah. Yeah, watching Dave Canterbury do it, he just pretty much used an axe and like just hacked it to pieces. But sure enough, it fit and it worked. So.
Now that's a way to chisel right there.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, we're just playing around. So for all the safety conscious whatever, we're not showing how to do nothing. We're just killing some time and just trying some new stuff out here on the property. So don't try it the way we're doing it or the way James is doing it.
I'll be fine. I'm gonna get some Obamacare, Dave.
Oh, that's right. I would say be careful because you don't have insurance, but I guess you do.
Oh yeah, whatever.
I'm really not a big knife guy, but I think James is winning the argument because he asked me if my neck knife could be used as a draw knife. And
I mean, if I'm going to take one tool in the woods, it's going to be the buck hoodlum. If the wood wasn't so rotten,
you'd have a mailbox holder.
Yeah.
Now, what was Dave using that for?
stuff like a pot holder or tripod or just anything you would use a dovetail for. Which, don't use rotted wood. Unless you're just practicing like me.
Or you're talking about how cool the knife was to see if they'll send you the punk.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool for playing around.
Yeah. I mean, you could see how, if the wood wasn't rotted and didn't fall out, that would be a sturdy...
You ain't using up your rope lashing.
Exactly.
But it's rotted.
But it's rotted.
How not to make a dovetail in the woods.
Yes. And that was our episode of Rotted Timber Framing.